Hey guys, what's up? I feel like I haven't done like a sit down life update video for you guys in a while, so I thought that this would be a great time to catch up. I don't think I've done a life update video for you guys since I lived at that house up north in Scottsdale when I don't even think I had a job yet either. That's like legitimately so long ago. That was almost a year ago at this point. And boy, has that year flown by, especially with Corona. The months just like passed me by. I don't know where time is going right now, but so many things have changed in my life since then. But before we get started, make sure to give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you like it, and click subscribe down below so that you never miss another video. So the first thing that I wanted to give you guys an update on is how much I am loving my greens superfood blend from Teamy. I've been trying this out for a solid like 3 weeks now. It is so good. I'm still drinking it every morning with a couple drops of stevia and lemon in it. It is delicious. You guys know that I'm obsessed with green tea, so this is just like a super concentrated form. It's basically mostly matcha. So if you guys are looking for a green drink that's gonna boost your energy in the morning, this is definitely my favorite go-to right now. It also just helps alleviate any kind of like morning bloat that I have because it is a super concentrated form of green tea, which really helps me personally with bloating. Also, I raved about how much I love this tumbler. Oh my goodness, I literally love this tumbler so much. I use it even for all of my drinks that are not the greens powder. Just any kind of like drink mix or like whatever that I'm putting in water, this is so perfect because it does have that filter in the top. So any kind of like clumps, or if you put fruit in there, it's gonna filter all of that out, and it is so nice. Also, it's like the prettiest lavender color. If you guys have noticed, I've been wearing lavender like an excessive amount. I think I've worn a lavender shirt in the past like 3 videos that I've done. So this is kind of like my new favorite color. You guys can still use my code Kettler20 for 20% off of your entire order, and I'll leave that linked down below in the description box. So that actually brings me into my next point that I want to update you guys on, and that is my experience with green tea. I'm still getting tons of questions about my green tea experience that I did a whole video on, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it up above in the cards. One of the most often questions that I get is how often do I drink it and at what time of day do I drink it? So when I first did the video, I was kind of taking it at different times throughout the day, and I realized that actually confused people into thinking that I was drinking it multiple times a day, but I actually was only drinking it once a day. I was just inconsistent about the time that I drank it at. So I only drink green tea once a day, and honestly, that's even if I remember at this point. I'm not like super religious about it. I'm not drinking it every single day still. I do still love the way it has an effect on my body. Like I said, green tea really helps me de-bloat, so I do like to drink it in the morning if I remember, but I only drink it once a day. And instead of drinking it inconsistently, like sometimes in the morning, sometimes at lunch, sometimes at dinner, I now just only drink it at breakfast if I remember first thing in the morning. Ideally, I would like to just make it first thing in the morning when I wake up, be able to like relax, drink my tea, and then go straight into eating my breakfast. But because it's so hot when I make it, I don't really have the time to like let it cool down, enjoy my cup of tea, then eat breakfast before I go to work. So sometimes I have that time in the morning, but if I'm gonna do it like that specific way, I usually only do it on the weekends when I actually have time. Otherwise, I will just drink it with my breakfast in the morning because I don't have that time to like split it up. So if you guys didn't know, I do live in Phoenix, Arizona, and lately we have been having a lot of updates regarding the current pandemic. I know that this is very different like state to state, but in Arizona up until now, masks were never required to go into any sort of facilities. They were never required to go into restaurants or like grocery stores or anything like that. Obviously, they were highly encouraged, but they were never required. Now cases are rising here in Arizona, and it's getting like kind of worrisome. We're becoming a hotspot, and so they have made it mandatory that you wear masks in every single facility that you go in. And because of that, I was originally just using like kind of like shitty disposable ones and just like wearing them when I needed to. But now with the new like requirements, I'm actually required to wear a mask 24/7 at work now, so I have to wear it all day long, which I definitely was not used to. So I just want to show you guys my favorite masks right now because I just picked these up and they have changed my life. They are these super cute ones from Dippin' Daisies. As you guys know, I have worked with them on 2 videos in the past. I absolutely love their swimsuits. They are my favorite swimsuits in the entire world. They are like the softest, butteriest material. They are so nice. And I had known for a while that they were selling masks online as well, and they're only $10 each. It's a super reasonable price. And like this plain green one especially is literally made out of their swimsuit material. It is like I'm wearing the softest, butteriest swimsuit, but on my face, and it's also like really breathable and sweat wicking. It also has this little insert, and you can put in filters. It does come with 2 filters per mask, so I have 4 filters to be able to change out with these. And then I also have this really cute little simple pink one, has their logo on the top. But yeah, I just want to show you guys these really quick because they're my absolute favorite, and I just love this company in general. They make really high quality products. So So if you're looking for some pretty inexpensive masks that are really good quality, really breathable and soft and very comfortable to wear, I literally wear this for 9 hours a day at work, so you know that it is good quality. But yeah, cases have been rising here in Arizona and it has changed our way of life a little bit. And in addition to that, they actually just enforced a new round of closures for another 30 days. And basically everything on the list does not affect me. It's like water parks, bars. I don't go to bars, but unfortunately, gyms are on that list. I am so bummed that the gym is closed again. I feel like I was just starting to get my strength back and like really starting to get comfortable with lifting heavy again. So I'm really sad about that, but at least I kind of like had a break of like going to the gym, and now I'm like back to doing home workouts because like my sister, she lives in upstate New York and her gym hasn't even opened yet. From like day one that they closed, it hasn't even tried to like open yet, and I personally cannot imagine that. So at least I got a little bit of a break. Now I'm back home again. I was really good about going to the gym 5-6 times a week, but that's definitely gonna change now because I am much less motivated when I come home. At least the apartment is like so much cleaner and more organized now, so I do have a little bit more space to be able to work out in the living room, but it's definitely just not gonna be the same. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated, and I really am gonna try to post more of my workouts on my Instagram story. I'm not gonna make them like separate posts on my feed, but whenever I do work out at home, it's obviously gonna be much easier for me to film now because I can like put a phone on a tripod and like not be weird in the gym like trying to film myself. So I will definitely try to film that more for you guys. My Instagram handle is down below somewhere and you guys can go check it out. So with working out at home, I know I definitely do not push myself as hard as I would going to the gym, and I'm also probably not going to work out quite as often either. So since that is all changing, I've decided that I want to go back to tracking my calories, which I've been doing for like a solid like almost a week now, I think. I just want to make sure that I'm not like super overeating the way that I did when quarantine originally started, because I definitely gained a few lbs over quarantine and it was definitely due to overeating. So I'm not being super restrictive on myself at all. I just like want to be more aware of what I am eating and make sure that I don't like overdo it, especially since I'm not training super hard. So when I say that my apartment is a lot cleaner now, it actually has a lot to do with Ringo not being here anymore. I told you guys in my last video that I would update you guys on the situation and basically like tell you the whole story of why everything happened the way that it did, and I do feel like I'm ready to talk about it now. So this is kind of a topic that I've never really talked about on my channel just because A, it wasn't really relevant, and B, I was honestly pretty embarrassed by the situation. So we had Ringo for about 2 years. We got Mimsy and Ringo together, so we've had them both for 2 years. And as soon as we moved here to Arizona, he just had significantly worse problems with peeing everywhere. He used to just pee outside of the box, but once we moved here, he started like peeing all over the box, and then peeing up against the wall, and then peeing on furniture and carpets, and then he started peeing on the carpeting in our bedroom and then our bed frame, which is a fabric bed frame. And it just started getting so bad so fast. I kind of just like panicked and didn't really do anything because I was just like, he's probably just like acting out because we just moved. Like he just needs to de-stress and get used to his new home. Like I'm sure it's just like stress getting to him, and that probably was the case at first, but then it just started to get worse. The entire apartment was covered in pee pads literally everywhere. Like I had them taped to the walls because he didn't just like squat down and like pee in a corner. He was doing spray peeing, which is like, if you don't have a cat, if you don't know, it's where the cat is marking their territory, and he just did it everywhere, and he like projectile peed like up the wall, and it was almost like 2 feet up the wall. So it was just getting out of hand and I didn't know what to do. I talked to multiple behaviorists. We thought maybe it was a medical issue. We did multiple rounds at the vet. We tried different tactics, giving him more attention. Maybe if he wasn't getting as much attention as Mimsy, we tried to even it out. And then it got to the point where I was talking to more behaviorists, and I listed out everything that I had already tried, and they're like, oh, sounds like you've been doing everything right. I don't really know what to tell you. And I'm like, so at this point, we just kind of realized like we think Ringo needs to be an only cat, and since we have another cat, we couldn't give him that home that he needed. So I started reaching out to all the different shelters in the Phoenix area. I started telling them the story and seeing if they would take him, and every single shelter just turned me down over and over and over again, and I started to panic even more because I'm like, oh, that was my last resort. I thought that somebody would take him and they won't now. We thought about putting him up for adoption online, but then I thought about it and like someone would have to come to my apartment to meet him, and I realized that as soon as someone walks into the apartment, they're not only gonna smell the pee, because my apartment just smelled like disgusting pee the second you came in every single room, no matter where you were, and they would see all of the soaked piss pee pads all over the apartment, and they'd be like, what's going on here? And I wouldn't be able to hide it, honestly. And I don't know about you guys, but going to someone's apartment, if I see that the cat has a peeing problem, I'm probably not gonna take him. So my very last resort was to reach back out to the shelter that I originally got him from, which if you guys didn't know, I actually moved here a year ago from Des Moines, Iowa, so that is where we got him. I actually got this idea from the first shelter that I reached out to here in Phoenix. They said, hey, like, we won't take him, but if you didn't know, usually shelters will take back their own animals that don't work out in their homes. So I kind of like kept that in the back of my mind, knowing like that's like the absolute last resort, obviously, because I would have to take him on an airplane to go back to Des Moines because it's like a 24-hour drive. And eventually I reached my breaking point where I couldn't handle the stress anymore and no one around here would take him. And so I reached out to the shelter and immediately they said, yes, we will take him back. And from there, it all just happened so suddenly that I didn't really have time to process what was happening because I needed to book my travel, figure out how to get a cat on a plane and how to calm him down, figure out logistics with my parents because they were gonna come to Des Moines to visit me, and like booking stuff with them. How long did I want to stay there? Did I want to visit friends while I was there? And like it just turned into this whole trip that like I just didn't really think about happening, which if you guys do want to see my trip, I did vlog it and I will link that in the cards up above as well. And all of a sudden I was getting in a car going to the airport with Ringo, and the second that I like was waiting at the gate, like I had finally gone through security and everything, and I just sat there with Ringo, that was when everything like really hit me for the first time that this was my last time with him. And from there it was pretty straightforward. I got to Des Moines, I dropped him off first thing. I wanted to make sure that I was coming in that morning and dropping him off right after, that way I wouldn't have to figure out logistics of like putting him in a hotel room and like finding a litter box and like all those things. Honestly, my apartment just didn't feel like home without him, but slowly I have been getting used to the new norm and it has been a lot less stress, honestly, and that was the whole point. Kind of weird having a clean apartment. Like it's just weird that like all the pee pads are gone and it doesn't smell like pee everywhere, and it also feels like there's more space because visually the pee pads took up so much space that it just looked so cluttered and gross. Like I would never have had people over with the apartment like that. In the end, it is what needed to happen. I'm not happy about it by any means, but it is what needed to happen, and I hope that he finds a new home. And it is good that I have more time to clean up the apartment as well and like focus on cleaning it up because we do plan on moving in October when our lease is up. I've kind of planned this from day one since we moved here, which sounds kind of dumb. It's like, why'd you even pick this apartment then? But we're kind of like a little bit on a time crunch to find an apartment originally. I moved here without ever even visiting, so I had no idea what any of the areas were like. I didn't know what was the ideal area to live in, especially for like my age group. I'd prefer to like live near some people that are kind of my age to like hopefully make some friends. And our apartment is pretty nice. I mean, it's a really good size and I like how open the kitchen is to the living room, but I'm just not a huge fan of the area. It's not very walkable at all. Like during the day, like it's pretty fine, but at nighttime I would not feel safe leaving the complex to go walk around, and I really like going on walks. And there's also just not really anything around that we would walk to. Like I'd prefer if there were like one or two restaurants that was like walkable that we'd want to go to and like be regulars at, or like have some shops that are close by for walking. So the apartment is fine, but the area is not ideal, so we definitely are looking to move. So come October, look forward to the moving vlogs because I am very excited to hopefully find an apartment that I will stay in for more than a year, because that is literally never happened. And then lastly, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of what my week is looking like these days, especially with the new like Arizona policies, working out from home now. Like some things are kind of open, but some things are still not. So basically starting on Sunday, I like to clean the apartment as much as I can. That's kind of just like a normal morning thing for me anyways. I just wake up and I like to clean because I like to start my day with a clean apartment. So I'll just clean up a little bit, especially at the kitchen, because I want to make breakfast, but I want the kitchen to be clean first. And then Sundays are always my filming day Sunday, so in the afternoon I am always filming like I am now. It is Sunday afternoon. And then later in the day I do my meal prep for the week. So I actually did just make some oat muffins that I'm going to eat for breakfast throughout the week. And then later I'm gonna meal prep my lunches for work. Monday through Friday, it literally just looks basically the same every single day. I wake up, I eat my breakfast, I go to work. Only now I come home after work and I do a workout. So I'm gonna try to do that as many days out of the week that I can. And then after I work out, me and Kalma usually make dinner together and like watch something on TV. And by then it's like 8:30 and I need to start getting my lunch together, cleaning up a little bit, and then I go to bed and I start it all over the next day. I usually see my friends like once a week usually. We either hang out like Friday or Saturday, usually Saturday though. Friday is usually kind of like my wind down day where it's like, okay, I don't have to get ready for work the next day. I can actually just like come home and chill. I might even have a glass of wine on a Friday night, who knows, might get crazy. And then Saturday is usually the day that I like to plan out a fun activity, whether that be hanging out with my friends or planning something just like for me and Colin. Recently we've been going on a lot of different hikes or walks, and that's kind of been the activity for the day. It's been obviously really hot out. It's been like 110 degrees lately, so there's not like a whole lot of things that we can do like outside for a long period of time. I also really want to go kayaking in the river, but I think that might be closed now. I know tubing is officially closed. We were gonna go tubing last week, but I definitely want to do those eventually. And that is pretty much what my week looks like these days. It's nothing too exciting, honestly. But then Colin and I will also usually go to a restaurant once or twice a week, so that's kind of like randomly put in there, usually like once on the weekends and once during the weekday. So that is kind of everything that's going on in my life right now, all of the major changes at least. If there's anything else that you guys want to know about me, please leave it down below in the comments and I will either try to answer them right there or maybe bring them up in another upcoming video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know. And with that, I will see you guys next week in another video.